Hi, I'm Cindy Richter, and I was president from 2011 to 2015. It's all my life, so 63 years. I've been a member. I'm a third generation, actually. My maternal grandparents, Jack and Lil Dressler, were members, and then, of course, my mother and father, Aaron and Ruth Zajic. Honestly, I don't remember how I came to be on the board, but I do remember when and how the shul, or more accurately, the people that make up the shul, embraced me, and I became more involved. It was 2001. I was a newly minted morning millionaire saying Kaddish for my mother, and they helped me go through the stages of grief, the sociability and the rhythm, the substance of the service, the pushka being sent around for everybody to make tzedakah, the dependency on one another. It was great when I would come in and they would announce, oh, 10. And I thought to myself, oh, I do the best I can. But then I realized it was like they were counting 10 and I was the 10th. And that was great importance, that our community around that time had recently given women full participation in services. And I was struck that we here at Beth Jacob have a culture of caring for one another. Um, but then board question, well, naturally, this led to more involvement in other aspects of the shul until Ira Greenspoon asked me if I would be his co-president. And that was pretty laughable. But you know how Ira can be very funny. Um, but when you care about something as much as everybody else does, you need to make that leap. And I was not on the board, but it just begins by showing up. And even when you don't feel ready or fully formed, it's just about being present and consistent, and at times persistent. But I think it worked out well. It's a blur, but it was but it was fun, and I think we did okay. Um, well, you always stress about the static costs of the building, um, the aging and very often uncooperative HVAC systems, fundraising, falling falling income from membership dues, the lines of credit. Um, there were hard decisions to make at times. Letting Cantor AL go, renting out the Hebrew school space, other things that didn't always sit right, but you knew you had to make those decisions. They were hard. Oh, for sure. There were so many social things that they just kept on coming, as far as bringing people together and celebrating the 125th anniversary, the shul within a shul. Now, these events could not have happened without Wendy Schneider and John Levy. They were our predecessors, and they just pulled out put the red carpet down for us as presidents. I think it was Wendy who almost every day would call me and say, how are things going? Just for advice, for support. Those people, you couldn't get better and luckier to have them. Um, I think that some of the nicest times were Shabbat services. Um, at the time, Rabbi Salzberg was there and Cantor AL, and it was almost standing room only. I remember Marvin Kaplan standing at the entrance to the new shul and like looking for seats for people, being the maitre d'. Um, it was just wonderful. Lots of children running around, um, and yeah, those were just nice times. Sure. It was such a pleasure. Always walking into the office, his door was open. He'd want to talk. He'd want to be supportive. He was funny. And then, of course, Hannah Shire, our executive director, Alva Sholem, she would pop in and Before you knew it, we were just solving everything in the shul, or trying to. And there was like this feeling with the two of them of like almost a holiness. Everything, all the decisions that they made, or the way that their thought process was, it was always concerning other people and how we should be acting as Jewish people. I think often, you just um, you have to bring your own talents, and be curious and find out what people are interested in, um, and know how to ask the experts. Ask somebody else who's been there, who has some experience. Because I was president, I think I was in shul a lot for services and otherwise, and I just realized how relevant Torah is, to us even in this day. Um, I think of like Rabbi Benny, who is the real deal. He is so down to earth and approachable. Um, I can't say enough about him. He runs to visit or call people in the hospital or at home. His classes are enriching and thought provoking. It amazes me that more people don't make the time to come to his classes or be inspired by his Devar Torahs, or his Torah classes. He's brilliant, he's funny, he's young, and makes everything relevant. And I I look forward to more, with him at the helm of the clergy. I'd love to see more families, more young families, attending services, and bringing with them their special talents and their interests. I think that we are very open, in innovation, and um, that's the wonderful thing about our synagogue. As even the older people say, they'd rather see more people around than the old traditional ways.